Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another wonderful race here in the Super Mario World No Cape, No Star World Tournament. Just coming off that spicy race between Bram and Sten, that wonderful race that we just had. We are following it up with another wonderful race. This one, Umari0 and Lanxion. I'm Cycle, joined by Matt Ewalker. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
First time I think we've commentated together. What do you think about this matchup that we have coming up tonight?
I'm not really sure. I know Lanxion is a bit newer and there's a couple of minutes difference, but I also know that pretty much anything can happen in this category, so I'm interested to see how it goes.
I also am, as you said, very interested in what happens here. We do have two excellent PBs for both of our runners here. The PBs, I think for Umari, we have recorded 34:59, and Lanxion, I confirmed, is a 36:55. So these are two fantastic times. I do expect this will be a fast race. While we wait for the race to start off, we do have the records for the runners. Lanxion has had one race in this tournament, has won that race. Umari, this is his first race in the tournament, and we are in the group stage. They are playing in Group F. So that is the group that we are playing out of tonight, and I believe we should be getting underway in just a moment here. There we go. So why don't you explain the first stage that we're going to be going into, Maddie Walker?
Well, there's going to be a lot of running and jumping, as is going to be most of the game. In this game, when you're running at your maximum speed and you run off of a ledge, you're actually going to lose some speed, so almost everywhere you're going to see that they're going to be jumping to be avoiding running off of ledges.
And as you see, they're going to jump over the midway tape coming up here as well, because if you take that midway tape, you get told how good the midway tape is.
Well, more importantly, you get big, and we don't want to be big for right now. It's just a little inconvenient a little bit later.
So first level is complete. They are pretty much square at this point. These first few levels are fairly generic in the speedrun, with the exception of 1-3 being a little more challenging. You have to do some very jumps you wouldn't think of if you're new to the game. You'd be going up the cliffs normally. Of course, we're going the fastest way we can here. Both runners are on the belts here. They should be going for a 2:59. A 2:59 would be the ideal time to get on this stage. Missing a certain jump somewhere might give you a 2:58. And both got the 2:59, so good start. So you're now coming into Yoshi's Island 4. We're going to try to avoid taking a dip except at one very specific point, because that is the quickest way to get across, rather than trying to do it some other way. Plus, it's such a long jump, you have to go in the water.
Well, it's not quite the quickest way. You can do a shell jump, as Umari0 seemingly tried to do.
Good point.
But it's not. The shell jump doesn't save very much time.
And both runners are through this stage, so on to Iggy's Castle, and this is the place where we have our first auto scroller. Not right away, but later on.
Yeah, and this is where we're going to do some jumps where we don't want to be big, because we could easily run into one of those Koopas.
And notice Lanxion was keeping in the air as long as possible until he had to climb to avoid falling in the lava. That maintains the most speed possible over that chasm. We're now in the auto scroller block crunching segment. So supposedly we're going to see a big red door. We're going to go through it, and there's apparently a Koopa kid here. I didn't see him. Did you see him?
Oh, he just decided to take a nice bath, and we're going to move on to World 2.
But first, Mario's going to show his pyrotechnic skills and blow up a castle.
I'm sure that was just a scale model. I don't think anyone got hurt in this cutscene.
Fairly likely. So here we are on Donut Plains 1 coming up on the next island here. And this is where if you've seen our previous No Star World tournament where capes were allowed, this is where things start to diverge. We don't want to pick up those capes from the Koopas that are flying. So those flashy red ones will give you a cape. So we are avoiding that. We have a couple of skillful jumps we need to do here while trying to get the Yoshi at the same time. Both riders get the Yoshi. Umari slightly ahead on the pickup. And both runners getting up nicely to the key. Very nicely done.
And we now have our first water stage. Not going to be a lot going on here, but they are going to, at some point, pick up an item which, for some reason, makes you swim faster. And then they're just kind of going to swim under the level to the end of the stage.
And there's that item, the P-switch, which they're not going to hit because, again, it makes them swim faster. And I still remember when I first started to swim under the stage, I learned that way up in a stage we don't see in the bridge area. Oh, that was news to me. I think it was Soda Lake.
Yeah, Soda Lake is one that you can just swim under most of it.
So we are in the ghost house now. We do have a specific trick we do need to use here. Runners will try to get P-speed as they climb that stairway because they want to be able to see what they're doing, but you can do it without the P-speed as well. They're going to bounce off this boo here, and hey, door's right there. Lanxion showing it without the P-speed. He has to guess where the door is. There it is, and he's out too.
Yeah, I don't know how they can guess that without seeing it. I do know that if you don't get P-speed down there, you can get it up top on the platform, and that'll allow you to see what you're doing.
But such a good chance of falling off, too. It's just a bit risky doing it that way. So, but these runners have enough experience, I would say, that they know how to, where to find that door. By the way, speaking of stages that are difficult, this stage. Oh, it looks like Umari missed the jump off of the Koopa. That's going to cost him a life and a little bit of time as he has to do it again. Lanxion showing how it's done, bouncing off the Koopa correctly. Stops. He must have noticed that Umari took the death, so stopped to get his bearings, and is going to finish the stage normally now.
Yeah, that might have been a case of Lanxion not being quite where he expected, and when that happens, you don't want to go full speed through the level anymore. You just want to get through it.
And Lanxion leading the charge into Donut Plains 4. And this is just another run through the levels as fast as you can, but we also have these flying Hammer Brothers to deal with. And there, you nice pop that one very nicely. We're going to get another Yoshi here. We do need this Yoshi later. Obviously can't use it in the castle. We can use the Yoshi here to get a Fire Flower, which Lanxion just did.
Oh, and unfortunately, Lanxion, he had to jump off of Yoshi to get across the gap, but he hit the goal tape before he landed on Yoshi, and he didn't have enough momentum to actually get on Yoshi. So
Umari, meanwhile, did get across with Yoshi doing the same jumping off before the goal trick, and he did get out with Yoshi. So Lanxion determining that this is where we definitely need to get this Yoshi back, and he's going to go through to where Yoshi is, then he's going to just save and quit out there. And there it is. Umari is expelling unneeded fire. Oh, Umari just lost his cycle on the spring. He's going to have to wait for the block to come back and wait for the hopefully the dry bones will be there to help him get a bounce up. He might have to give up the spring here. No, he's going to try. Nope, he's going to give up the spring. He probably didn't have a choice. So that's going to cost him a little more time going up because he's not going to be able to use the spring to jump up. He may have to wait another cycle when he gets up there. And Lanxion getting the spring, so he's making up a little bit of that time that he lost on losing the Yoshi. But Umari is still ahead going into the Morton fight. And Lanxion gets a more time because, as you see, Umari had to bop Morton the customary 3 times. Lanxion, meanwhile, threw 2 fireballs, bopped him, and that was it. So both runners have completed the second castle. We are moving into the Vanilla Dome. We're not going to spend a lot of time here, just a couple stages, then we'll be on top of the Vanilla Dome. So we're going to grab this blue shell. This blue shell is going to help us get these buzzy beetles out of the way, and we're going to get wings from the blue shell. Now again, there is no cape allowed, but Yoshi is allowed to use his wings from the blue shell. That is perfectly normal. And the runner is going almost perfectly synced into Vanilla Secret 1. We're going to avoid this block because it is a cape. Yoshi is going to be discharged from duty once again through this red Koopa gap, paratrooper gap. One of these springs for Lanxion didn't show up. Interesting. Both runners are across. Looks like Umari has gained about a second in that level. I seem to have lost my co-commentator here. Hopefully he'll be back shortly.
Yeah, sorry about that. Am I still here?
You are here now, yes. So watching both runners run through Vanilla Secret 2, and Umari gets the goal. Now a few seconds. Looks like Lanxion lost a little more time coming through this stage. So he's a few seconds behind Umari at this time. And we're on to what some like to affectionately call the dolphin buffet, because in the Japanese version of the game, you can eat the dolphins.
I can't imagine why they took that out.
Yeah, me neither. It reduces lag, you know? Umari, meanwhile, snuck a snack. I'm not sure about Lanxion. I don't think I saw him take a snack yet.
Yeah, it's really kind of amazing how much of that level you can run and jump through over all of the moving dolphins and suspended platforms before you have to just sort of plop at the end.
Yeah, it's kind of strange that it's faster going, just swimming against the current than it is just riding one of the dolphins. Like, they move pretty slow compared to Mario's swimming and jumping speed. So this is one of the slower stages of the game, mainly because, well, they're swimming and there's nothing to grab to help them with their swimming, so they have to swim very, very slowly.
Yeah, the only thing you're really doing is managing your height. And the biggest danger here is just the Reznor fight at the end, because Reznor can be random and a little bit strange with how the platforms work.
Umari on the first of the Reznor fights. I don't think that was perfectly clean, but still a very acceptable fight. And he is through the first of the 2 forts that we're actually going to visit here. 2 of them we won't actually see.
Yeah, Lanxion taking the fight a little bit safer.
Unfortunately, it's also a little bit slower, which means he will fall a little further behind. And we're now on to the most exciting stage in the game. Look at all the wonderful movement we're going to get doing this stage.
Apparently most of that movement involves Yoshi's tongue. I don't think I know this tech.
Yeah, that's a very interesting tech. First developed by Yoshi. He knows the tech the best. So Umari is going to show off all the exciting movement, bopping Koopa after Koopa. He changed it. He didn't want the extra life, apparently.
Let's see if Lanxion goes for it.
He's at 6, 7. He goes for the extra life and gets it. I've seen some runners swag it out just to get more lives by bouncing off of Yoshi, but it's not worth the risk to lose Yoshi or possibly lose your life if you try and go for too much swag. Umari showing off some trigger-happy select and collect your item over and over music. And Umari gets a free coin from Fire.
And there's our one opportunity to save time in the stage, going in the pipe as soon as it appears.
And Lanxion should get a 153 here as well. He's in the pipe right away. And we're now on Butter Bridge 2. So this stage is a lot more fast than Butter Bridge 1. We're going to grab a blue shell as we go under the Koopas firing their shells. This is the one we're going to grab. There it is. And again, we're flying. We're allowed to fly with wings, just not with a cape. There'll be 3 Koopas in a row here, and then he'll drop down to the goal. There it is.
Lanxion having no trouble as well.
So now we're getting to about the halfway point of the run, and this is where the game starts really upping its challenge. We have a very difficult room with crushing spikes that has been the bane of some runs. Wouldn't you agree? This being the room right here.
Yeah, I think I might have repressed some memories of this room when I was trying to go through it no cape. I'm not sure what I can say about it.
Well, Lanxion did take a hit and lost one of his flowers, so he has 1 left. He has to hold on to that if he wants to get the maintain pace on the boss fight here with Umari. This is the boss fight that, if you don't have fire, can take the longest. Lanxion does get up safely, and he's going to have the same result. 2 fireballs, and bop. And we're going to blow up this castle. And the hill somehow gives itself a bandage. So now at the halfway point, we're going into the Forest of Illusion, and this is a mysterious area with mystery exits everywhere, and the goal is to take the correct mystery exits to get to the end of the area, which that mystery exit is in the 3rd stage coming up. Umari not going for the wing skip here. It would save about 6 seconds, but it's not 100% guaranteed to occur here. Lanxion, I'm going to assume, will probably also not go for the wing skip. But he may if he wants to try and catch up.
Yeah, and Lanxion just actually
Yes,
grabbed a flower from the roulette block, and good thing he did.
He had a shell. I thought he was going to go for wing skip for a moment, but he didn't.
And Umari0 is about to go for the Yoshi clip. Just mounting and dismounting Yoshi to set up the sub-pixel, and...
First try.
Yeah, very nice.
So Lanxion has to reciprocate that to keep up. Umari does not get the block. He tried, but he just clipped under it.
And unfortunately, even if you do everything perfectly, there is... Oh no. Oh.
He got it.
I didn't see Lanxion set up there, so I was a bit worried.
Well, both runners got a first try, so that is good. Lanxion is going to grab the block here, and this is going to give him a slight gain in time on Umari, who unfortunately clipped under that block. And now he's going to grab the key just like Umari did. And some runners like to stay out of bounds with the key, but Lanxion just going to go right in, grab the key, and fly in, or float in the water normally. And that one up is not going to come down.
Do have more running and jumping in this stage. Umari0 just got a wall jump by running into a wall and at the right pixel and jumping on the right frame.
Umari tried to do some swag with a shell jump there, but accidentally fired it and had to go back and get the spring. So we're going to have to go in the pipe right before the end of the stage here. The tape is right beyond, but that just takes us to the ghost house, which basically puts us in a loop, or takes us to the fort, however you want to play it. So we are now in the Koopa Kids Castle here, and this is one of the other levels that is changed by the no cape challenge, because normally runners will defy death and fly through this in a reckless fashion, what looks like a reckless fashion, but they know exactly where they're going to fly through the fireballs and just float all the way to the end of the stage. But without the cape, you have to play the first half of this stage normally. So at this point, Umari is going to run onto the spikes ahead, and he's going to try to maintain the flower as he takes the hit. Oh, I thought he did that too early. So he grabbed the flower. He's going to try and keep it now. If he can jump in time, he did.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because Lanxion lost his flower in Forest 1, he won't be able to keep it through this damage boost.
Yeah, he did not have a second one to bring in, so he's going to lose a little more time on the boss fight here. He hit the piece, which I don't believe that was intended. And he took a death.
Oh, that's going to be very costly.
And Umari is going to blow up the cat. Mario, what are you doing? Get back. Oh. So Umari is out of Castle 5. Lanxion is still, well, I shouldn't say still, but on his second life there. And this time he has no fire flower. He has to do this entire castle as it was intended to be played.
And Umari0 is doing one of the stages that I find very challenging in No Cape. Particularly small.
Umari is going to drop the P-switch as he comes out. There it goes. And he's at the tape and doesn't need that spring. He doesn't need another flower or a 1-up or anything else. Oh, Lanxion took another death. He's back at the start of Roy's castle. Whereas Umari is now in this spookiest ghost house. And that's why it's the spookiest ghost house, because we have the spookiest Boo who's trying to fish with fire. And let's see if he goes for the Door of Happiness. He does. Oh, and also a nice spin jump. Didn't take any damage at all, so didn't even have to do a damage boost off of the... What do we call those Boos?
Those are Boo lines.
Boo lines, okay, Boo lines, yep. So didn't even have to take any damage, just went off the Boo line. And Lanxion on life number 4 in Roy's Castle. Umari, meanwhile, in the stage of many maps. The map you go to on the second map is based on the coins collected. The map for the third map is based on the time left at the end of the second map. We want to be at 250 or greater. 275 is about as fast as you can do it. I lied. 277 is about as fast as you can do it. And that gets us to the secret area. And this is actually a really challenging stage of the secret area. Hi, Blarg.
Yeah, I believe they have setups for this, but those footballs are random and on a frame roll, so they can ruin your day.
This room, different runners like to do in different ways. Some just like to try to avoid platforms and go as fast as they can. Some will slide down and kill the creatures along the way. But however you do it, get down as fast as you can. And then we have a series of platforms that are going to fall as you step on them. So after we get through these charging chucks, or at least jump over them, because we're not going to touch them, these are the platforms where you can lose some speed. You want to try and maintain as much speed as you can coming up to them, so you don't have to try and run up them. And there we are with the goal.
Yeah, meanwhile, Lanxion has finally gotten through the castle. That was really unfortunate.
Yeah. But a lot of time lost, unfortunately. So Umari is now in the 6th castle, the castle where Wendy resides, and takes a hit for a fireball.
Yeah, that's intentional damage. That allows him to reliably go under the crusher.
Of course, there is the risk associated with that. You might make an errant jump and take a death somewhere.
Yeah, that was something else. That was very risky strat there.
Ooh. Umari taking a second death in Wendy's castle. It will take a few more deaths for Lanxion to catch back up, but this is so far proving to be Umari's Achilles heel.
Yeah, I suspect he's just going to take it safer and not have any problems.
Yeah, exactly what he did. And he's through. Let's see how he does in this room. Is he going to one cycle it? He's going to go for the one cycle here. And he gets the one cycle. So we're going to look for Wendy, and there she is. And there she was. So Wendy's demise takes us to the spooky ghost ship. Kind of a callback, if you will, to Super Mario Brothers 3. You'll see what I mean when we get in there. But we're going to get to explore this sunken ghost ship that, well, is a bit spooky.
Yeah, meanwhile, Lanxion going through small on the last room of Chocolate Island 2. It's a very dangerous room, small. And he got hit by one of the chucks.
And there's a bouncing fish, and we're in the ghost ship. Now, bouncing fish, something just a fun little trivia fact. You can actually pause the map when at the spot where you trigger the fish, it will just bounce endlessly. I tried that one day and I laughed at it.
So Mario just slowed down a little bit there to set up for a glitch where if we have the boo cloud on the screen at the same time the game tries to spawn a boo ring, it won't spawn the ring. We're about to see if he got it.
I've got one, but I don't think he got both. Nope.
Yeah, getting both is very unusual.
Just feels good when you do get both because it means you can just go through and not worry. But yeah, very, very hard to get. Anyway, Mario is coming down to the bottom of the ghost ship. And everyone watching live on Twitch, get your 3-letter words ready as we find our orb. And Bowser comes up to greet you, and we get to see what he had for lunch. Oh, that's what he had for lunch. Oh, an unfortunate death to the second of the Monty Moles in this stage, the large Monty Moles.
Yeah, so Lanxion going into Wendy's castle, we have about a 2-stage difference. I don't think there's a lot of opportunity left for them to make that up.
No, we're down to the last few stages on the left. There's still a stage that could cause some trouble, which is the stage that wants to be an auto-scroller that we like to call Valley Bowser 2 with the sandbar. But if that is negotiated safely, I think the gap might be too great at this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't count out Vanilla Fortress. That can be a very difficult stage, and the Reznors at the end, as always, are very random and very strange.
Look at this pattern Lanxion is getting. Wendy in the same pipe 3 times in a row. And now all the way over on the other side, of course.
Yeah, it looks like Mario lost some speed in Valley of Bowser 2, which can be very dangerous because of those off-screen bats.
And he's trying to get a shell jump, but it's not working. That is just not working for him today. He did the same thing earlier and just killed Rochelle with fire instead. Now he's trying to do the swag and he kills himself. That is unfortunate. So no swag this time. He's across, and he is going to go for the sandbar. Now, will he go for sandbar clip remains to be seen. Nope, not going to go for it. I see Chad is calling you out for saying Vanilla Fortress. Yeah, Vanilla is World 3.
Looks like Lanxion also got the Boo Ring despawn.
Umari does a little trick there, trying to save a second to get in the pipe quicker by sliding under and then using the scroll over to get in the pipe before he could normally walk in. Misses the jump to jump up here early, but does get the key and bounces it around. That was interesting. And now we're in the Valley Fort. And Umari, waiting for a moment after doing the screen scroll, is going to make this across in one cycle as a result of that. And now he's going to try to maintain P speed so he can get through these spikes in the fastest possible fashion. There it is. And these designed to get a little harder each time. They add a fireball, then they add a second spike, then they add the fireball again, then they give you an upside down one. And he is through. Resner down, that leaves us Bowser's back door.
So fun fact about the back door has a midway tape. The front door, which is a much longer stage, doesn't. I don't know why they designed it that way.
I really actually should look that up and see if someone's ever actually answered that. I've been wondering the same thing myself. Yeah, there's that midway tape. So if he takes a death here, he can just start right there from the midway. So Lanxion is starting the Valley of Bowser. Umari, meanwhile, is on the Bowser fight. And he's going to wait for... He is clipping through the clown car in a way I have never seen. That is interesting. So he's going to save one of these Mecha Koopas here. The first one will be fired. He's going to basically kick the second one around just for the sake of kicking it. And as soon as Bowser throws the next one, there it is. Nice timing by Umari. That was almost frame perfect.
Yeah, so if he had done that just a little bit too early, he would have gotten the Mecha Koopa skip. You don't want to get the Mecha Koopa skip.
And the princess throws a mushroom. And now we're going to go for what I like to call amnesia skip, because Bowser at this point throws bowling balls at you by turning around. But keeping this Mecha Koopa means we can cause Bowser to forget about that second bowling ball right there. That's where he would have thrown it. And now we're going to keep this second Mecha Koopa like the first time. And after we kick this little thing around for a while, we're going to have Bowser come back and take an immediate hit from it, which will also shorten his third phase, and cause him to do 5 bounces instead of the 7 or 8 he normally does. And therefore, we got our last Mecha Koopa to kill him very, very quickly. There's the first hit. So Lanxion unlocks the key in Valley of Bowser 2. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little too late. He enters the Valley Fort as Umari gets the last hit on Bowser, and that is going to determine your winner, ladies and gentlemen. Umari finished with an official SRL time of 37 minutes and 51 seconds. Get your GGs in chat.
GG.
We'll see if Umari wishes to join us here to talk about what happened in that race.
Meanwhile, Lanxion is just finishing up the last fort. Hopefully things go well there.
I do see Umari in the waiting room, so we'll go ahead and we'll bring him in and we'll say GG.
Hello.
Hello, GG.
Yo, thanks.
So, what did you think about that run? Was that a good run for you?
Besides the silly deaths near the end, yeah, it was decent. I felt bad for Lanxion though, dying in Roy a couple times.
Speaking of Lanxion, before we carry on, he did forfeit, so we should we'll mark that, and we will invite him in as well. He did just forfeit because he wasn't moving for a while there, and I checked he did forfeit. So we'll see if he wants to join us as well, and we'll see what happened here. That was an unfortunate race for him. You probably heard us talking about how he was having problems in Royce Castle.
Yeah, I saw the restream, and it looked pretty close, like around Ludwig. So you hate to see it.
It was a really good race going into that castle. I think you guys were synced going in. Well, not quite synced, maybe a couple seconds apart going into Ludwig's castle.
Right.
And I think he lost a little bit of time on somewhere along that trip. I don't know where it was. I thought maybe you lost time as well somewhere. I don't remember exactly what happened there, but somewhere between there and Forest of Illusion, he lost a fair bit of time even getting to Roy's Castle, and then obviously the trouble in Roy's Castle just compounded it badly for him.
Yeah, in Forest, I missed getting the block while swimming in FY2. And once you miss that block, I do not turn around and go back for it in fear of clipping inbounds.
Yeah, we noticed you missed that block and then you just skipped under it, which I haven't actually seen that before. Not a lot of people miss that, so that's the first time I think I've seen that.
Yeah, I have absolutely gone back in bounds trying to grab that block, so
yeah,
I agree with that decision.
I also don't trust my D-pad because it's been acting up and does not press down sometimes, so yeah, I didn't risk it.
Yeah, it's risky to go for that block and then get stuck inbounds, and then it's a long swim around and a lot of waiting you have to do around those Urshins, so definitely the safer move.
Yeah.
Now, we did find out that Lanxion will not be joining us, so yeah, very unfortunate what happened to him in Royce Castle, and I don't want to say that was what decided the race here, obviously, because any number of things could be said to have decided the race here, but yeah, what happened in Royce Castle just made a really unfortunate run for him.
Mm-hmm.
So other than, now you had a couple of deaths in Wendy's Castle as well. Other than that, was there anything else in your run that you would want to try to touch up on or improve?
Remember how to shell jump? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you took a death in Valley of Bowser too from one of those.
I was very committed to getting a shell jump because getting a shell jump out of the pit once you're in it, like one of the many pits in that level, saves time, I guess. But I never got one, so I was very, very committed. And then I tried to go for a shell jump by the midway and died. So I should just stick to Cape.
Dave Walker, any questions for you?
No.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And that was your first race, I believe, in this tournament. So you're now 1-0, correct?
Indeed. I actually have a race tomorrow against Nardi. He's a really good Brazilian speedrunner. So
excellent. We'll bring that up in a second, so I'm going to be reviewing the schedule in a second here as well. So we do wish you luck in that race tomorrow. And Lanxion 1-1. Obviously, another win for Lanxion, and he has a good chance to advance. But we'll see what happens in his last race as well. So good luck in your future races.
Thank you.
So let's bring up that schedule very quickly and touch on what was just mentioned here. We do have that race that was just mentioned between our winner tonight and Nardi 1800 happening. Let me actually see if the channel is confirmed on that, because I might not have that updated. Yes, it is. SpeedGaming 4 is where that is going to be broadcast tomorrow. It's also going to be simulcast on our Portuguese channel, SpeedGaming Portuguese, at 3 p.m. Eastern time. 3 p.m. Eastern time, that's about 8, 9, somewhere in that range. Check your local listings if you're in the Portuguese area for that. And also, before that, we have a race between Blue Saint and Marcelo Matos on the same two channels, SpeedGaming 4 and Portuguese. So those two races are back-to-back tomorrow. And that is the two races that start off the day. We also have tomorrow, same channel, Dactyli versus Talvani. Same two channels, again, Portuguese and SpeedGaming 4. And that's at 6 p.m. So a 2-hour break, and then we bring up that one at 6 p.m. And then back on SpeedGaming 2, we have Umari0 versus Suid at SpeedGaming 2, 8 p.m. And then same channel later, also simulcast on Portuguese, we have Tengulian versus Venom play. So a busy day tomorrow. 5 races. You can go to speedgaming.org/NCNSW sorry, NCNSW. I can't say that clearly for some reason. NCNSW. Speedgaming.org/NCNSW, and you can get more information on those and all the races that are coming up on the schedule. A lot of races are still coming up in the group stage. Speaking of Lanxion, I don't see his last race scheduled yet, so keep an eye out for that if you want to cheer him on as well. Any last thoughts from you, Maddie Walker? I will take that as a no. So with that said, make sure to follow SpeedGaming and SpeedGaming 2 through 6 for all the events going on here at SpeedGaming. For example, those watching live may want to see Kirby and the Amazing Mirror on SpeedGaming 3 coming up, or Super Mario Sunshine coming up on 4. A lot of other events going on here as well. Go to speedgaming.org/schedule for all the events going on here. If you are watching on our YouTube playlist, hey, thanks for watching us on YouTube at our YouTube channel, SpeedGaming Show, I believe that is. And we hope that you are enjoying the races. Another race will be coming up on this playlist in just a moment as soon as we wrap up here. So have a great night, everyone. Thank you, chat, for watching, and we will see you next time.